Hello and welcome to the Army Rugby Stadium in Aldershot for what must be the closest to a home game that the UK Armed Forces women have in this tournament. This is very familiar territory and they're going to need all the advantages they can get today because they're up against Zambia, a team that has lit up this tournament so far and they've only played one game. Let's look back at some Pool A highlights.
Pool A match day 2 and a belated arrival of the Zambian team into the tournament. Against Tonga they showed exactly what people were missing with a performance full of pace, power and relentless running. They scored 90 points and perhaps should have had more against a Tongan side who have had a tough time in their 2 games. That result put the pressure on the Irish Defence Forces in the race for knockout qualification. No such pressure for the UK Armed Forces though. A typically dominant showing saw them bat the Irish away with a 65-0 win. Qualification secure for UKAF, but they will want to have top spots sewn up against Zambia in the final pool match.
Day 5 of competition here then, and this is how Pool A looks, with the UK Armed Forces sitting comfortably at the top of the table, and they have already secured their semi-final spot. But what can Zambia do to shake things up? To explain the machinations of both groups, earlier I spoke to the Chief of Referees here at the IDRC, Ian Kai.
Yeah, so my name's Ian, I'm the Technical Manager for IDRC, so my responsibility is looking after the rules of the tournament, the match officials and generally everything that happens on the pitch.
Now we kind of saw this coming, a situation where you've got Pool A, which is UKAF's pool, which is the simpler of the two, but Pool B has been dubbed the pool of death because of Fiji, Australia and France all being in the same pool. Can you give us a sort of layman's terms sort of summation of where we're at with both those pools and going into the fact that the semi-finals obviously are on Saturday?
Yeah, so the nice thing is both days, the first game is what's going to be the critical game in the pool. So today, Zambia simply have to beat UKAF. If they beat UKAF and get the try bonus, they're through and safe. UKAF are already through, they just need a try bonus to guarantee themselves, or a bonus point to guarantee themselves the top spot. If Zambia win and don't get the try bonus, then Ireland would go through if they beat Tonga with a try bonus as they tie on 9 points and we go to head-to-head first.
Are we feeling confident about UKAF? I don't want to be sort of biased, but if UKAF win, what are the sort of machinations there?
So if UKAF win, obviously they're going to go through top quite comfortably, and then obviously they're facing off against Pool B and the Pool of Death, and I think whoever they end up playing is going to be a great semi-final.
So tell us a little bit about what's happening in Pool B, because that's a little more complicated.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more permutations there. I mean, the key bit there is Australia need to win. If Australia win with a try bonus point, they are through and safe, and then it depends on whether Fiji pick up bonus points, etc., on whether they would go through top or whether they'd go through second. Fiji are all but through, barring them failing to get any sort of bonus points. If we end up with all teams on 10 points, that's where it starts to get complicated, and we would move into points difference. At the moment, Australia are probably the people who are in prime driving seat to do the best out of that, and France are probably struggling.
Okay, and breathe. So where we are now, could you make a call on semi-finals or not? Given that you've seen all the games and seen what the results have been, I know it's been very tight in Pool B.
Yeah, I think in Pool B it's too tight to tell, really, isn't it? I mean, who would have thought that Fiji would have beaten France with the situation they found themselves in the game? And I think obviously the Australia-France game was so tight, so it's all down to that first game.
Perfect. Thank you, Ian.
Thanks very much.
Perfect. There you go then, very simple and very straightforward. Thankfully, we have Cy Hunter on commentary for this game, and I'm sure he can explain it thoroughly. He's joined by Charlotte Fredrickson and Erica Mills.
What a treat in store as two red-hot sides go head-to-head in the Hampshire sunshine. Pool A heating up at the IDRC. UKAF flying high with a 170 points to nil aggregate after two huge victories, while Zambia, who arrived to the tournament a little later, laid down a marker of their own with a 90 points to nil win over Tonga in Basingstoke last week. It's hot and dry. We expect plenty of fast open rugby on this rock-hard surface at the Army Rugby Union Stadium. Head coach Sarah Mitchelson is renowned, of course, for laser-sharp focus and won't be thinking too far ahead, but will ultimately have her sights set on the knockouts in this tournament. It's been another highly successful year for the Army head coach, winning the inter-services, and she'll be hoping in UKAF colours the Army sporting stronghold in Aldershot can summon more success for her today. Well, as we wait for the teams to come out of the tunnel here, hearing the Zambians sing, of course, in wonderful voice as they were last week, I should say. It's not been that long yet, but it's great to welcome back on co-commentary duties today Charlotte Fredrickson and Erica Kiwi Mills. Well, Erica, first of all, what sort of a game are we expecting here today? We've mentioned the heat. It's a grass surface, but you see how dry things are there as well. The Zambians will be pretty happy with that, but UKAF likewise looking to spread the ball wide.
Yeah, exactly like you've said there, Si. I think we're looking for a fast game from both sides, and having seen both sides now play, obviously with Zambia's late arrival, we can expect a lot of physicality, I think, through the middle, looking to try and make use of the speed on the edge. So overall, I think a fast-paced game, hugely physical, and I think discipline could be the one that decides which way it goes, especially in the first 20 minutes.
And two huge wins, of course, Freddie, for this UK Armed Forces side. Will this today be their toughest test to date?
I think so. The Zambians put down a clear marker against the Tongans, so you can't take anything for granted. I think for UKAF's perspective, as Kiwi said, fast open game, huge amount of pace in the Zambian side, but I think UKAF will be quietly confident in their set piece that they can take the edge there and actually deprive Zambia of some ball. But a few players on the pitch as well who haven't played yet, who are keen to stake a claim for that semi-final shirt as well.
Zambia resplendent in their blue colours today. UKAF, of course, in that classic purple. And we just have a presentation before kick-off as a reflection, of course, of the significance of this tournament. The Zambian High Commissioner, Ms. Makanjay Chemazoka, and Lieutenant Colonel Ben Burbeck, Director of UKAF Rugby, heading out to shake hands with the players. The Zambians certainly made a statement against Tonga in Basingstoke on Thursday, as the dignitaries meet each of the players. And UKAF, since that defeat of the Irish Defence Forces, well, they've had a few changes, which we'll look at in just a moment, but effectively guaranteed their place in the knockouts. And a win today, of course, would cement that spot at the top of the pool. But it's been extra special. There have been many ceremonies and special events for the players, of course, to take part in. Royal Military Academy Sandhurst, not just the opening ceremony, but some evenings as well, celebrating the culture of these different sides and the things that unite them, of course, on the rugby pitch as well. 8 sides going for glory. Some fantastic venues through the tournament over the next while as well, culminating in the grand final, cup final at Kingsholm, home of Gloucester Rugby, on the 3rd of September. And what a wonderful moment as well for the players, just helping this to feel even more real. And Kiwi, this just reinstates the significance and just how important these fixtures are too in this tournament.
Absolutely, it's huge, and for Zambia to be able to facilitate coming over here to participate in the tournament is big for them, in not just in their defence rugby space, but also in Zambia growing the game as a whole. It's a pretty special occasion, I think, anytime anyone pulls on their combined defence colours. And yeah, I think today is going to be a real showcase of 2 physically challenging teams, and I think the defensive efforts today are going to be phenomenal and probably ones to watch.
UKAF captain today, Lucy Nye, the scrum half, Exeter Chiefs, Royal Air Force and UKAF veteran, and Ms. Mazoka, Zambian High Commissioner, moving along the line. And speaking to Bethan Dainton there, and lovely moments for these players. Rose Dixon back in the starting lineup today. Jasmine Abel, Gemma Pearson, who had a good outing last week against the Irish Defence Forces. And fantastic atmosphere building here as well in Aldershot. We've seen a nice spread across different demographic groups at these games. Lots of young kids who've been coming to watch. And part of the theme, of course, of this IDRC is trying to encourage more young kids, not just young girls, and more women into the games, but families as well. There's been that sort of an atmosphere. The other teams, of course, who haven't been participating in a particular game, coming out to watch what they might be coming up against next. And just there to really appreciate and support the quality in this competition. So it promises to be a rip-roaring game here. We expect a fast one in Aldershot as the Dignitaries make their way off the pitch and we get ready for the national anthems.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those that can, please be upstanding for the national anthem of Zambia. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please remain standing for the national anthem of Great Britain. ladies and gentlemen.
Time for a look at the teams, starting with UKAF today. Lucy Nye captaining from scrum half, the ever-present scrum half, with Jade Mullen on the bench, and versatile first receiver Millie Williams at fly half. In the pack, lock Heidi Silcox will be aiming to continue her excellent carrying form in this competition, while India King comes in at hooker, and Rebecca Addis returns to the bench as her replacement. And for Zambia, well, it was a barnstorming day for hat-trick hero Dorothy Kasonga against Tonga. She's at inside centre today, and the important boot of Lushomo Lewena at fly half. The officials are headed up by referee David Vosolevu from Fiji, assisted by Australia's Mitchell Egan and Mamaloa Kaluka of Tonga. Poddy Sheehan of Ireland and Sebastien Royer of France make up the complement. Well, it'll be Zambia to kick things off and get things underway here in Aldershot. And Freddie, as we progress through the tournament, of course those nerves are present every time you line out in this tournament, but things are heating up now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is the last opportunity for each and every single one of these ladies to prove themselves for that semi-final shirt that we know is coming. So there's lots to play for, and on top of that, they're really going to want to keep another clean sheet.
Well, it's Williams who takes the ball, playing at number 10 today. Out to Holly Beacom. The ball has gone forward, so an early opportunity just outside the 22 for Zambia to have the put into the scrum.
I think both sides will be really keen to put a marker down here, show what they can do in the set piece, and if anything, UKAF will want to work hard, see if they can get that ball back.
Well, it'll be fascinating to see what UKAF do today, having seen that 90-0 win for Zambia last week, Kiwi, and to see the formations and the style of rugby they want to do to counter that today.
I think there's going to be some really important matchups out there today, front row versus front row in particular, and also the 12 channel. I think De Filippo versus Kasonga. I think we're going to see a really good battle there between those two. But first of all, first scrum of the game, so it'll be good to see who's going to exert some dominance early on.
Natasha Musonda, Banda Miriam and Willima Susi, the front row for Zambia. And trying to look blind there. UKAF exerting a good bit of pressure. Ball just going forward, and well, they've turned around that possession, and it'll be put in for Lucy Nye.
Yeah, that's good early pressure from UKAF there in the scrum. Hopefully that dominance remains, but it can always be a game of two halves, can't it?
Yeah, that little bit of pressure there from UKAF, fumbled the ball at the base. It's exactly what they wanted, turnover ball now. And now they can set up, nice clean ball, nice easy exit set. With the weather today, they're really going to have to conserve their energy. Yeah, make sure that everyone can last the full 80.
Well, Williams will be first receiver today. He's often played in that number 12 shirt, like last week. And Jade Mullen on the bench. She and Rose Dixon lining out in the centres today. And doing well just to push forward with that ball. Our UKAF, Heidi Silcox, well, she was dynamic last week, carrying against the Irish. Rose Dixon, that ball just knocked forward a little, trying to take that off her bootlaces, but it'll be a penalty to UKAF.
Slightly different exit there, side from UKAF. Millie was set to kick exit, but we've seen a pick from Beth at the base of the scrum, and I think we could probably see that option played out a lot today.
And Williams with the right boot of hers, and just glancing the top of the stand of this stadium. Moving into the Zambia half. And just see as India King takes the ball in consultation with veteran prop Sarah Batley, just how dry that pitch is and how hard the surface will be today. And throwing a bit longer to Rowan Sinclair and quickly to Nye. And characteristically rapid from her as well to Filippo in midfield.
Yeah, that shows real intent. A simple line out, but right to the back. Want to play with width, up through the middle, and all of a sudden we got momentum and on the front foot.
Dixon turning around nicely to get it into the hands of Kim Grundy. He's had a great time of it this year with the Royal Air Force and UKAF as well. And seeing what space they have out with Jasmine Abel towards that right-hand side. Zambians trying their best to bundle her into touch. Another penalty, and on the 22 mark this time for UKAF.
Yeah, that's really good territory gain there by UKAF. Obviously hitting the 12 and then using Beth as an additional person in that back line to hit width. I think now we're in a really dominant position to utilise our set piece and see if we can get over the line.
Now the ball put into touch. Another early line out for India King to deal with. Wearing the number 17 shirt today. What options does she have in this line out? It goes to Silcox. They try the rolling maul coming through here, UKAF. Enterprising so far. And gaining good ground. Zambians doing their best to try and interfere with that, but King doing very well there. The ball goes to ground, and Nye trying to spread this as quickly as she can, and very good from Williams, so close to the line.
Yeah, they got loads of numbers out wide. You've just got to simply execute now.
And Aspinall over the line. Has she got it down?
Yeah.
Held up there.
Yeah, in some ways she just needed to have a quick look outside on her left-hand shoulder. We had a 3v1. Yeah, there's no, in some ways, you know, that's opportunity missed there, I think.
Yeah, good link up though, and good tempo to get that ball out wide, like you say, just a little bit of maybe comms from the outside in, but also we saw the intent from the forward pack setting up with their 7 ready to latch onto that maul. So they're the little indicators that you look for as an opposition to see what the opposition's going to throw at you, especially in this part of the park.
Back to Silcox.
And another completely uncontested line out there for UKAF, so they don't have to do anything special, they just have to do something nice and clinical.
They've seen early on the brilliance of that approach as they try and power their way through here, the UKAF forwards.
It's here, Si, where you need most patience as a forward pack. It's very easy to get excited being that close to the try line, but actually keeping that power and that strength pressed against the opposition is where you're hoping that they'll come unstuck.
For space once more, and can it get out to Kim Grundy? And just evades her grasp. The referee blowing his whistle again and coming back once more. Well, it's penalty after penalty so far in this position for UKAF, who've been very happy to put it into the line out and get that rolling maul working, spotting the space out wide as well.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be long before Lucy Nye's in the ear of the ref as well. You know, this is not the part of park where, you know, Zambia want to keep giving away penalties, and she'll be asking what's next, sir, I think.
Williams again puts that ball back into the same position, really. And will it be rinse repeat for UKAF?
I think it will be, because I think actually they'll want to, this time, actually maintain coherence of that maul, you know, much closer to the line now, and actually drive over from the maul from the line out. Although looks like the backs are itching. Backs are itching as well. Nicely spread out.
Sort of day you dream of as a winger. On this near side, Kim Grundy prowling on the left wing, and Dainton takes that in this time. And rumbling on it comes, the driving maul from UKAF. How close can they get with this move? Ever closer this time. It's over the line. It's a try scored this time. The pressure tolls, and a fantastic start by the women in purple.
Yeah. Do you know what was nice there, Si, is that they mixed it up by with the ball that they played. So they hit a 3 ball there with Beth going up to receive, but still stuck with the premise that the maul was on the front foot. So yeah, obviously came away with the points that time, but also good to see a bit of variation with the decision makers there.
Williams lining the ball up for the conversion attempt.
We believe that the try scorer there for UKAF Armed Forces Women, number 21, Ellie Brightwell.
Well, it's been a great period for Ellie Brightwell since making her debut against England students just a couple of weeks ago. Royal Navy back row. That conversion attempt is good. So 7-0 UKAF lead. Just over 7 minutes played here in Aldershot.
That's a lovely conversion as well to take the 7 points, but I think Zambia are going to really want to look at their discipline here. You know, to all intents and purposes, it's the discipline that put UKAF in that position in the park. They can't afford to continue to do that, because UKAF will punish them each and every time, I think.
And how important is it, Kiwi, when you come up against a side that likes to play rapid rugby, especially in broken play, to just be so structured and make sure that you play a game they're not necessarily wanting to themselves?
Yeah, I think structure is important, but actually being cohesive as a defensive unit is more important than that. And that, for me, that the key of that is communication. So it will be interesting to see how they shape up as a cohesive defensive unit in that broken play.
A lovely run from Silcox once again, just finding a little half break. Batley this time, but the ball just bouncing off her fingertips and knocked forward, unfortunately for her.
And that's well played there from the Zambians, actually. That's a lovely hit on Beth Dayton, just slowed down the UKAF attack.
Beth Dayton, who's been a powerhouse in this side. And Sarah Mitchelson, head coach, delighted, of course, to have her services. The dual code player, Welsh international. She had so much from number 8, not least her pace there at the back. Zambian put in on halfway this time. And what can they offer with this moment of attack? Free kick, UKAF, and, well, that's quickly shoved back from the hands of the Zambian scrum half by Lucy Nye. Bethan Dainton looking to take it quickly, but the ref says, no, you have to come back.
Yeah, good play from the Zambians there. I think showed a little bit of nous, slowed it down, clearly to the disappointment of Lucy Nye.
Batley this time, crunching route 1 attack, running into contact. India King, Holly Beacom, the Army Tide head. It's quick service again from Nye.
Technically from that scrum their side, we saw really good body position from Sarah Batley to force the free kick. I think we're going to see that quite a lot this game.
Oh, Jasmine Abel using her dancing feet, but just finding touch there. Good Zambian defence, just into their 22. Very promising from UKAF so far, putting the Zambians under pressure quite a bit with the territory they've had and the possession as well, enforcing penalties. 7 points to 0 they lead so far. Quite a few changes in this starting lineup. India King and Holly Beacom into the front row of this side. Zambia take the ball.
Yes.
And just bouncing off fly half Millie Williams. And they ship it out. Comes to the fullback, Chilembo. Oh, and it's physical from the Zambians. Much to the appreciation, not only of their fans, but I think some others in this crowd as well. Want to see intensity today on the pitch. And that's lovely from UKAF. Reversing up possession, earning an advantage as well. So a free play of sorts for the purple shirts. Ellie Brightwell once again. It's been trusted in attack quite a few times so far. But coming back for the penalty, the ref, without advantage being played.
Yeah, and UKAF, that's good intent there from Zambia. They're going to have to make sure that that UKAF get numbers over the ball, because they're not against Tonga, and again, just there, they've shown that they're very quick over the ball.
Millie Williams, who's becoming fairly familiar with that side of the pitch, and just skewing that kick a little, but nevertheless, still in 22, and a line out for UKAF.
We've seen the physicality of Zambia there in that small, those small phases of attack that we saw. I think they're going to bring that in both the attack and defence throughout this game. So when fatigue sets in slightly later in the game, it will be interesting to see how UKAF cope with that.
Silcox, the jumper, and they move forward off her again. The power clear to see in that UKAF pack. An advantage being played again for UKAF. This is fantastic stuff from their forwards. And the referee, well, wanting a word here, reaching for his pocket, it seems.
There's been quite a few penalties now from Zambia in this part of the field.
And a sin binning as well. The yellow card comes. There's only so many times you can keep giving away those penalties. And it'll be disappointment for them, of course. But that UKAF pressure being converted as well.
Zambia, 10 minutes in the bit.
Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, so far Zambia haven't competed in the air at all for the UKAF line-out, and then they've been slow to set for the maul defence. So, and once the maul's up and running, it's almost impossible to stop it legally. So they're really going to have to think about how they're going to defend that from now on, because they can't keep giving away penalties. Because as you've seen, the ref's very happy to go to his pocket.
I think that's interesting from a kind of coaching point of view. Is that given the new role of the line out being not straight if you compete or if you don't, not competing is an interesting choice for me.
Can they come away with a second here, UKAF? Edging ever closer to the whitewash. Lucy Nye marshalling her troops from the back of that mole. The ball going over. Has it been scored? It has. Another try for UKAF. That's fantastic. Once again, the forwards have been busy so far. And India King making it count. That's wonderful from the hooker and great from her fellow forwards.
That's absolutely what you want to see when the opposition has a player sent off. You want to be able to capitalise on having less players. So to see that clinical maul from UKAF there is good to see them capitalising on that.
12 points to nil the lead. Or 12 points, I should say, for UKAF so far in this match. Just under a quarter of an hour played in Aldershot.
I mean, that's great play from UKAF, but like, credit to the forwards, that's exhausting, especially at the best of times, let alone in this weather. So I think what we'll see is a little bit more of that, and then hopefully as the game opens up, you know, we'll get to see the backs do their business as well.
Oh, unfortunate for Williams this time. A tricky angle for her, unsuccessful conversion, but 12 points to nil. But brilliant from UKAF so far. Sarah Mitchelson will be happy with that pressure being exerted and not giving the Zambians any room to manoeuvre and any time to come onto the ball at pace like we saw them do last week against Tonga.
Yeah, I think there's that age-old saying of if it isn't broke, don't fix it. There could be an element of that, especially in the attack in 22 for UKAF. But equally, we know that we've got a lot of talent out wide as well. So they might try and mix things up a little bit in the next few phases.
Just a bit messy there. Batley and Silcox colliding with one another, both trying to take that restart. Ball going forward. Zambia now have an opportunity just outside the UKAF 22 to try and hit back, see what they can do as well. We haven't seen a huge amount from their backs so far. They haven't had a lot of possession.
One thing the Zambians showed in the Tonga game is they not only do they have pace, but that back line's got excellent footwork. So they're not going to worry about the space so much. They're just going to look for that edge and hopefully get in behind. But it'll all decide whether or not they can get clean ball from this scrum.
Interesting test as well of the UKAF defence. We know that moving forward in this competition, they will be tested. We've seen what some others have provided so far. And it's brilliant from the UKAF forwards again. They've been electric in this match so far and earning the penalty.
Ouch.
Yeah, a great technical scrum from UKAF there.
Ruthless, absolutely ruthless. It's what you want to see.
Ball threatening the touchline and makes it over. And you just see the exertion, as was mentioned by you, Freddie and Kiwi. You know, the forwards playing their part hugely in this match so far, and really putting in a massive shift on this hot day.
Yeah, I think we can see where UKAF are on the pitch. I think we're looking at a quick line out here off the top and probably looking to hit out in Beth in that outside channel again.
Oh, Beth looking for that outside to Filippo. Nye keeping that tempo going and just knocked forward. Rowan Sinclair coming into the line and not quite gathering.
Yeah, just a little bit miscommunication there. Yeah, I think so. But again, they've got scrum down now. Then I think UKAF will know that they can charge to get the ball back. Try again.
They definitely have the physical edge here, and I think the technical edge actually more than the physical edge in this scrum. And sometimes, you know, you go pound for pound with each player, and it's not necessarily the player, the pack that's got the heavier pack that wins. It's the more technically sound. They've obviously been working with Ken Dowdin, who is extremely comfortable in his trade as a very experienced prop. So I think the coaching from him is paying dividends.
Referee just doing his bit to keep everyone right in this scrum. We've seen a few so far in this match. Interesting as this game opens up further down the line, how the teams go about it. Jade Mullen, normal captain for UKAF, on the bench today. And being turned around there, that scrum, and Lucy Nye getting it into the hands of Daisy Aspinall, England under 20. Scored 5 tries in the opening match of the tournament against Tonga last week at Esher. She's been in scintillating form. Nye assessing her options, and Beacom taking that a little low. Moving into contact. Williams screaming for that ball. Behind to De Filippo, looking out. Dixon out to Jazz Abel. trying to cut back inside, realising the space wasn't quite there on the flank. And a penalty again.
I think that's unlucky there. We can see that Zambia are defending with confidence. They've got good space in between, particularly out towards their edge. They're also playing with 2 in the backfield, so to try and nullify the kicking option that we know UKAF can present. But actually just to see them be confident in their drift defence there to cover across is really good.
The one-up tackling's been really good as well. It's just, again, it's just their discipline letting them down, you know, giving away, you know, awkward penalties. It's mean when they do get on the front foot, inevitably they come back and it's UKAF ball. But they're going to have to be careful at scrum time, because a few more scrums like that and the ref is going to have no choice but to go back to his pocket.
A bit of deja vu now as India King takes the ball in a position we've seen before in this game.
I'd like to see some backline ball here, or it's a bit far out for a maul, but we'll see.
And Holly Beacon being shoved back by the Zambian defence. De Filippo doing her best to correct that. Williams being held up by that blue wall. Going down the blind side this time. Sarah Batley, huge experience. And again, that side favoured. Oh, and India King, that's lovely from the hooker. Oh, but Zambia have taken that ball.
That's a good steal. Keep playing, love, keep playing.
And, just stopping static, really, in the middle of the pitch, remarkably. But the ball going forward. And another attacking position for UK Armed Forces.
Yeah, it's a real shame there. I think she'd obviously thought that she was going to get pulled back for something, but actually if she'd have just put her foot down there, I think Zambia would have found them in a great position in behind. Whereas now they've got to soak up some pressure in a really difficult part of the park under a big UKAF scrum.
You mentioned wanting to see the ball going into the hands of those backs, and there's quite a bit of competition for places right across the pitch, of course, but certainly in the wings. We mentioned Daisy Aspinall there on the right wing today, Kim Grundy on the left, who's been in brilliant form for UKAF and the RAF. Courtney Pursglove as well, who's on the bench today, and Evie Longworth, who was playing the other day. They're all chomping at the bit to play their part in this tournament, and pace to burn, especially in these conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, all of them have got, like you say, pace across the board. I think what Sarah Mitchelson will be looking for there is just, on the one hand, in attack, how they come and find the ball and bring themselves into the play. But more importantly, as it goes on, how confident they are defensively in those wide channels. We've seen from Tonga and from the French how devastating they can be. So I think that's one of the areas that Sarah will be really looking at in those choices.
Yeah, the physicality and the technical ability to defend on the edge is quite niche. So as a winger, if you can bring that, then you definitely are putting yourself up there for that fighting shirt, particularly with the physicality of the opposition that we know is to come.
Yeah, absolutely.
Scrum gets set. Now he puts the ball in, and Dainton out the back, going blind now. And looking for Aspinall, who doesn't really have any space, and that's a wonderfully read tackle there from the left winger, Jess Juma.
Oh, and it's a turnover ball by the looks of things.
Zambians have done well in defence, but spilling the ball, very messy from them, unfortunately, as they try to escape. And back on the UKAF side, Williams out to De Filippo, and trying to get that long pass out to Kim Grundy. Does she have enough pace to get on the outside? Abel going on her outside, but she cuts back in and takes the contact. And Beacom being shoved in rather by Bethan Dainton. And firing this ball out. Williams, what can she do? Putting her forwards into space. Lovely from Sarah Batley. And close once again, her UKAF. Dangerous territory for Zambia again.
Zambia have done well there. They've made UKAF really work hard. They've drifted and filled the field quite nicely, and now you see UKAF have to go sort of left to right. But I think it'll be a matter of time if they can be clinical here. That's a great nudge back from the Zambians.
Very strong defence from those blue shirts, but Lucy Nye has the ball again, and preferring that side on the far side of the pitch.
Now, if I was Jazz Abel, I'd be jumping up and down, saying, give me the ball. Like, there's loads of space out here on the left.
That ball going back into Zambian hands, it seemed, but UKAF have it. Bethan Dainton linking up with her forwards there.
Yeah, needs to be slightly quicker for me. I know the forwards are slowing it down with the pick and go, but actually there's width to be played with. We just need to get the ball there a little bit faster, I think, in this part of the pitch.
Advantage being played by the referee, and there is a little bit of space. Numbers there. Kick comes across. Abel and Grundy chasing after it, and was that grounded? Kim Grundy taking that ball, and the referee suggesting that it wasn't a try. No try signalled.
Yeah, and again, I think that's testament there to the Zambian defence, actually. You know, UKAF to a certain extent just haven't quite, either their outsides are not talking in or haven't quite seen on the out of the left-hand corner the overlaps. And it's simple there, sort of fix and pass, and they'd be being in the corner. But like I say, credit to the Zambian defence to fill the field that way.
Well, enterprising from De Filippo to put that boot in.
We also saw a much better scrum from Zambia this last time, so no penalty given. The front row stayed in the fight, so it'll be good to see if they can do the same this time round.
Still 12 points to nil, UKAF lead. 25 minutes gone, an older shot. Natasha Katambo coming back on the pitch after serving 10 minutes in the sin bin, so a bit of a fill-up for Zambian defence.
Yeah, and I think UKAF will be slightly disappointed that during that period when she's been off the pitch that they haven't managed to put a few more points on the board. As we saw in the French-Tonga game, the inability to put points on the scoreboard when you have possession can actually, in the later stages of the game, come back and bite you.
Luciani with the ball. It's been as busy as ever in this match. Looking to link up with Bethan Dainton again, who's just controlling that ball with her foot at the back. Getting it out, and Nye trying to escape from that pressure. It comes out towards Grundy. Rose Dixon herring after it, trying to clean up. But a little bit messy there from UKAF. But the penalty, players go back for that penalty.
The skill that it takes to keep the ball in at the back of the scrum when it's moving sideways like that, and sometimes even backwards, it can't be underestimated. It's a very critical skill of someone at 8, and Beth did a really good job there. I think the execution after that, I think, yeah, could have been slightly more clinical, but to get to that stage, yeah, it takes a lot of skill.
And sometimes, you know, when you're that dominant in the scrum and you go for the push, the structure of the scrum falls down, and as Kiwi said, it's actually much harder to control the ball. Sometimes it's easier just to not push for that. Yeah, hold the structure and the integrity of the scrum and play off it as you plan to.
Beautiful attacking position here for Nye Williams and the UKAF side. Bang in the centre of the pitch. A free kick being called. Dainton taking it quickly and trying to find the space herself, which she does. Gets over the line. A try for Dainton and UKAF. And more pressure there. Absolutely brilliant stuff from the purple shirts.
Yeah, I think that's just where experience tells, right? You know, Zambia didn't need to give away the free kick, but, you know, Beth, razor-sharp instincts there. She's gone. She's not going to be stopped from that range.
Yeah, great decision from Beth to play fast there. I think from a Zambian perspective, you're almost wanting those micro chats now to have a conversation about how you can fix what's going wrong at the scrum. If I was in that squad, I would be wanting the captain to ask the referee what picture they're seeing and how they can improve that picture, because they are clearly not getting something right at that scrum, and it's really costing them at the minute.
Well, mistakes coming from both sides, really, but UKAF being allowed, really, to keep coming and coming again and making the most of it. Oh, and the upright struck again, the other side this time, the left post by Millie Williams. He'll be disappointed with that. But 17 points to nil, the home side lead. And yet to concede a single point at this tournament, UKAF.
And these aren't easy points either side. Zambia are really forcing UKAF to work for this. I mean, we were in the 22 for a good portion of time there and didn't come away with points. So I don't think their defensive efforts can go unnoticed at this stage, and they're playing with real determination in their defensive sets.
Yeah,
not going 10 there, that ball, and a scrum being formed in the middle of the pitch on halfway. UKAF ball once more.
Yeah, that's far from ideal, really. There, you want to, you know, with the pace that Zambia's got and what they're showing they can do in the breakdown, I think they really wanted to get it nice and tight on the 10 and really challenge for the ball. So it's a bit of a shame there.
Lucy Nye has hardly had the ball out of her hand in this past 10 minutes or so. Interesting in midfield today, De Filippo and Dixon. We've seen several combinations of this tournament so far. Of course, Williams and Mullen, the combination last time. Rose Dixon, Navy skipper, has her chance today.
Yeah, and it's her first, these are her first minutes in this competition as well, so she'll want to put a real marker down to put a hand up for selection as we get towards the semis.
Sarah Mitchelson with her work cut out, of course, selection-wise. And she'll have a good idea of what her team will be moving forward. But delighted, of course, as well that players are banging down the door for these opportunities, not making it easier for her at all.
No, and the opposition and who they are playing as well, and having seen all teams play a couple of games now, that will be key in the coach's decision-making and who can bring what to the game.
Dainton Nye link up, working magically there again, and Aspinall makeshift scrum half out to Rowan Sinclair. And the Zambians, well, they've done well here, and a penalty to them.
Yeah, I think they'll choose to run it from here. They've shown that they perhaps can't challenge in the line out quite the way they wanted to, so they'll, yeah, there we go.
Well, it's great to hear all voices in the stands today, young and old, and plenty of kids who may be lining out on the pitch in the future. In great voice, it must be said.
Yes, great challenge there from Heidi.
Ball coming back into the hands of Luena, the fly half. They had a brilliant performance last week, and that's lovely link-up work as well. Malika Tembo, the number 13, moving back inside. Luena again. Out for fullback Chilembo. And it's good work from Kim Grundy in defence, trying to bundle her into touch. It's an advantage being played to Zambia, just ahead of the 22 mark.
Yeah, it's great limp play from the Zambians there.
The ball just spilling forward, it seemed, but no, it seems okay, according to the referee. Zambian pack, having seen what their opposite numbers have done, trying to get some gains of their own here.
Yeah, it's great to see the Zambians in their own half and actually like moving forward. But always disappointing to see players down on the pitch.
India King just receiving some treatment. UKAF starting hooker today. A chance to bring on some water as well in these conditions. Quite a hot one today. It's been that sort of a summer, but it's been great to see these dry conditions as well for plenty of open rugby. Enterprising stuff. Lots of tries, of course, throughout all the games that we've brought to you live. It's great to have your company as well today, as always. BFBS Forces News YouTube channel. Do let us know where you're watching from. Whether you're somewhere close to Aldershot or much further afield around the world. Always brilliant to have you, no matter what time zone you're in as well. And King, after that treatment, just heading back to the huddle, which is great to see.
What we saw in the lead up to India King taking a bit of a knock there was a really good latch from Zambia, and that can be so effective. We've seen it play out in some of the World Cup games this weekend. The ground that can be made by people latching up and driving through and beyond the gain line can have a real impact.
Well, rumbling forward are the Zambian forwards. And the hooker, Miriam, trying to take route one. And shipping that out now through the backs. The backs who were electrifying last week against Tonga. What options do they have? Moving back and forth across the pitch. UKAF doing their best to try and disrupt their flow forward, though. And that ball does come forward.
Yeah, it's unfortunate there, but they've come back for the penalty. And I think we'll see another quick tap penalty.
It's the favoured mode. It's the closest they've come now, Zambia. What can they do to dent UKAF's advantage in this match? And they're rumbling on. And applause from the Zambian contingent in the crowd as well.
I think slow ball from Zambia here. When you've got strong, powerful runners, it is very hard to defend in this area of the pitch, especially from the pick and go at the base of the ruck.
Pick and go they do, and they're over the line. It seems the referee's just looking at whether that ball was held up. He's holding his arm aloft. However, and penalty once again taken quickly, or certainly a quick attempt, and looking for space, but the referee saying he's not happy with that.
Yeah, again, UKAF are going to have to be careful here. That's 3 penalties in the 22. But this is great to see from Zambia. They didn't have to play this kind of game against Tonga, so it's actually really great to see that this component of their game.
It's one of the things we love about this tournament. Anytime you get a World Cup, the different styles combining and the different tests, the different challenges for the individuals and the teams out there.
Yeah.
Coming forward, that's a bit messy from Zambia. And going back into the hands of Jazz Abel, UKAF fullback. Presents an opportunity for UKAF to clear their lines. And that's unfortunate for the Zambians.
Yeah, and a bit of a let-off for UKAF there.
Great to have watching on the Australians as well. Australian team who are in attendance and just checking out potential opposition, of course, as the tournament moves forward. And it's brilliant to see that support as well. All the different teams staying together and being able to gain so much off the pitch as they do on it. And Lucy Nye with the put in. The scrum being wheeled around. Beth Dainton. Oh, what a familiar sight that is. Peeling off the back at number 8. And charging through, looking to clear their lines. Millie Williams. Ball drawing round and coming into touch. And UKAF make the clearance.
Great defensive effort from the Zambian 7 there. She got quickly off of the scrum and stopped Beth Dayton progressing, which is exactly what you want from your open side.
And Miriam, the hooker. Oh, and UKAF went to take that, but the ball coming forward off the hands of Amy Reynolds, the lock.
There's ambitious line out there from the Zambians, but actually, like, we've not seen that from them, all that range from the hooker yet, so that's great. So all they want here is, you know, sometimes at scrum time, all you need to do is just take the pressure and then get the ball out, which is what Zambia are going to want to do here. Nothing flashy, just in, out, and get it to the back line.
Yeah, it's evident that they've got the tool set there. It's just about gelling now and making those things click. And I think if they can fix those little the little areas that aren't quite going to plan for them, they're going to be extremely dangerous in the second half.
The game just slowing a touch as the referee makes sure that everyone is playing their part in a clean scrum. Ball goes in for Zambia.
That's an excellent scrum for Zambia there, considering the pressure they've been under previously.
Well, hat-trick hero Dorothy Kasonka last week unfortunately knocks the ball forward, so she won't yet be adding to her tally for the tournament.
I think, to a certain extent, you can credit the UKAF defence with some of these honours. I just think in comparison to the Tonga game, they're not used to the pace at which the defence's line is coming at them. So actually now they've got one eye on the defender that's rushing them, and as a result we're seeing a few more balls go to ground than we did in the last game.
Well, the quality's there right through both pools. Friday, an absolutely fascinating day of rugby with Fiji down to 13 players at one point, defeating defending champions France within a converted try was the score. 29 points to 23, an amazing result. And then Australia putting on a show against the Looseheads. They've come to play brilliant rugby, as we often see. And Pool A here, of course, UKAF topping the pool at the moment and looking to similarly get the 4th try and beyond if they can in this match, having seen off Tonga and the Irish. Game coming up later, of course, between those two sides, Ireland and Tonga. And UKAF just being shoved back here, their forwards. Ball coming out. Nye just delaying the pass there, trying to find a little bit of space, puts the chip through. The ball does bounce before it moves into touch, and just interesting to see there Lucy Nye looking up, as any good number 9 does, assessing her options in real time. Very aware.
Yeah, it's good vision from Lucy, and she will know as well that even though it's a Zambian line out, that actually UKAF can challenge, and there's every possibility that they can get the ball back from here. So.
We've also seen Zambia, I think, rectify what was going wrong predominantly in the first 20-25 minutes, but you could see if that ball hadn't been played, their front row were coming up. So I think that's something that they need to be mindful of moving forward, but good to not give away easy meters at this stage.
Zambian line out. Rowan Sinclair looking to challenge for that, but it goes to the hands of Margaret Chama at the back.
You have to go.
Shipping that out through the backs. And UKAF doing their best to put a lot of pressure on that quick line, but the ball coming through, being turned around. Jasmine Abel doing very well under considerable pressure.
That's great confidence from Jasmine there. It's quite daunting when you've got defence coming up into your face to have the confidence to still go for that ball. So great take from her there.
Penalty for UKAF. Lucy Nye just getting to her feet after having some more contact in her face.
I think what we saw from Lucy on the far side there, Si, as well, is that she has actually got the pace to take on the Zambian defence. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to go out wide, and she did obviously take her opportunity there, but yeah, she's showing her speed and just need to have a bit more support with her, and yeah, I think she can definitely be an attacking threat as well.
That indecision of the defence, and they realise the number of options that Lucy Nye has and her ability to change tack rapidly as well. India King coming around the corner. That pass from Ellie Brightwell. Holly Beacom. Zambia doing their best to disrupt here. And turning that ball over as well. The box kick coming in. Hasn't made a huge amount of ground, but allowed to bounce by Kim Grundy. Back into the hands of Zambia here. And Milika Tembo, number 13, to the hands of Jess Juma. Back through it comes, and Musonda being tackled. Banda Miriam. Pushing that out. Luena into the hands of the dynamic fullback Chilembo. Trying to recycle that ball quickly. UKAF doing their best to try and slow it down.
This is much more clinical from the Zambians. You know, both.
Earning themselves a penalty as well. Seeing the benefit of going through those phases and retaining that ball.
Yeah.
Well, it's a yellow card. Sarah Batley, UKAF prop. 10 minutes beckon for her in the sin bin.
Yeah, what's a real shame about that is obviously Sarah Batley caught on the stone of the scrum. You know, somebody else, some poor back row player that's not done anything wrong is going to have to come off at the next scrum as well, which is always a shame.
So it's an opportunity for Zambia, not only in this attack, but for the next 10 minutes with the player advantage. One bouncing off the defence there comes Miriam. Luena through the hands and cutting back inside. That's beautiful from Tembo. Can't quite link up there. And the chip comes through. Jasmine Abel trying to do her bit in this exit. And put through by Nye as the clock goes in the red. The referee blows his whistle for half-time. Fascinating first half here in Aldershot. UKAF leading by 17 points to 0. A quick summary from both of you. Kiwi, first of all, Sarah Mitchelson will be fairly happy with that, but of course, as we saw, sin binning for Sarah Batley and a few mistakes just creeping in there too.
Yeah, I think Sarah Mitchell will be going in at half-time and encouraging UKAF to identify when the opportunities are on in attack a couple of phases earlier. We've seen a few points and opportunities missed, I think, particularly in the first 30 minutes. Defensively, I think she will be getting them to double up in tackles. We've seen a couple of breaks through the middle there, which is categorically not what she wants to see. From a Zambian point of view, I think it will be both in attack and defence, just to tidy up the basics. I think if they can get the basics to stick, then they are absolutely a threat, and they are still have a massive foothold in this game.
Well, they didn't score, Freddie. Zambia towards the end of that half, unfortunately for them, but still with that player advantage moving into the second half. Just an opportunity to try and reverse a little bit of momentum. Yeah,
absolutely. I think that last set from Zambia there showed that actually some of the skill set they've got across the park, they'll have to exploit that now that they're down to 14 players. And I think it's just unfortunate the time it came. You know, it's come right at half-time, turnover, and actually, like in that context, you know, UKAF have had a little bit of a let-off, and Zambia have got to take a rest, which is a shame. But it's all to play for in the second half, and I think, to all intents and purposes, 17 points is probably not enough on the scoreboard right now for UKAF to feel anywhere near comfortable.
Well, all to play for, as you say. We'll be back very shortly with action from this second half at the Army Rugby Union Stadium in Aldershot. It's a celebration, of course, the IDRC, of all the rugby that we see throughout these two pools, A and B. And an opportunity now for us to have a look back at some of the brilliant stuff we saw in Henley on Friday, Australia against Vodafone Looseheads.
She's in the lightning pace, and she's going to go and score the try. And that is a fantastic try.
Goes to Papa, and straight away Australia are going to get an opening try. Well, they just walked through like there was no problem, didn't they, there? Going over for the try, Maddie Matthews from Townsville.
Just a little bit of patience required.
Real phases here of the game. Just driving it forward. Have they got there?
Yeah.
They have. Important for defence now for the Looseheads, but away and off she goes again. This is the Monefe Siki, who scored 2 tries against the French. It's just a matter of time, isn't it, John, before they go over once more. And I think they are down.
You look at the mismatch they've got in midfield in front of the post here. If they use
once
that.
More. And it's just getting too easy. Once more, a dot down for the number 20 for Tenya Papa. Other biscuits are available.
But I've voucher Tim Tams.
Oh, a lovely charge through for another try for Australia. And this time it is Stella Tiju who's gone over. It'll come out to the scrum half. Tahana Clark. And here go the Australians once more. This is a surging run then from Maddie Matthews. Still going, beats off another challenge. Is she going to go for the whole line? But doesn't need to in the end. It's going to be another brilliant try for Australia. And it's Monifa Siki who's gone over for her second try with Zara Martin, the Queen's University Belfast player. Quickly taken penalty. Martin's going for the line. And she is over.
Yeah.
So congratulations to the Looseheads. They got a try, based in New South Wales. But yes, this is going to be another try for Australia. And dotting down once more the number 20 for them.
She's just needed the direct running. There you go.
And they are eventually in for the try.
Patience.
Almost crawling along, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're just getting the phases of play and just making it work for them. Bit by bit as they edge towards the line. As the new scrum half just come on, she's going to play it wide onto the left-hand side, and that's another try for Australia with Shalise Lloyd-Phillips scoring their 10th try. Here's Siki. Nice offload, lovely offload, and a chance there for Australia to score another try. Good defence from the Looseheads, but coming in there is Terry Ellis. Ellis diving for the line, and she's made it. Another try for Australia. Terry Ellis with the score. But we've still got around about 7 or 8 minutes to go, and a chance now for Australia to increase their lead even further on that far side of the field. That's a lovely run forward there from Stella Tiju, who got the opening try, if you remember, in this game.
It's good cover defence, but
they're going to go through again, Australia, and they have yet another try, and this time it is Jordan Neal who's gone over.
So, but it's fast ball. The scrum, the replacement scrum half has made a lot of difference. There's a great run. That is a great run.
And she's going to go through.
And that's a finish.
And that is going to be a brilliant finish there.
She's at lightning pace, and she's going to go through and score the try. And that is a fantastic try.
Oh, that is a good question. I think, I mean, I probably between the three of us, like we've been involved in service rugby for like quite a few years. Like I remember like playing back at like RAF Holton, where we would get maybe like 100 people down, and you just be like on a general pitch. Like obviously now like all our fixtures, obviously we always have the Twickenham fixture, but like playing at Kingsholm, playing at like obviously the Northampton ground, like is amazing because that just shows like where I guess rugby in the services is in general.
We do play great rugby, and you can see that alongside like service rugby's growing, we're trying to grow in par with civilian rugby and really drive on the standards, and it can only get better and grow, and like hopefully the more support we get, the more that we can get players on the elite pathway and playing professional rugby a bit more full time.
There's always more to be done because we always want to grow the game bigger and bigger and make it kind of more and more, but where it is at the moment is fantastic, and it's getting the media attention, and it's getting what it deserves in that respect. I think that's one of the coolest parts, I think. And even going through like the inter-services campaign, when you see like the kids on the sideline and things like that, it took me a minute to realise that there are like young girls who actually look at us and think like, this is really cool, like I want to do that. And once I realised that, I was like, oh, like that's a massive honour to be a part of someone's potentially like reason they play rugby or reason they want to join the forces, or just like reason for coming to watch. So I think that's a really, really cool position to be in.
Yeah, like I think like all of us, and well, probably everyone in the squad, like we actually just genuinely care, like, and we genuinely are passionate about like playing rugby. We're passionate about being in the forces. So I think like we've always cared, and like obviously we've always turned up and showed up, and we're the ones that push the women's rugby. But actually, like now, yeah, you're right. Like looking over in the stands and thinking, God, like other people care, and other people want to be a part of this journey. Like I think it just shows like how much the game's grown. And like I guess it probably puts us in a position as well to do more, and like make that effort to kind of just keep growing it.
Yeah, definitely. Like there's opportunity. The fact that like the media coverage for this is absolutely great.
Yeah.
BFBS are live streaming so people can watch. You know, even from like if I go into the army side, into services, Guardsman Komatai got picked up to go and do trials in Fiji, like from having like just single service rugby. So the fact that, you know, the coverage is there, the media is there, it's a driving force, so people can go log on, have a look and watch it. It is great.
Yeah, I think we were actually just talking about it yesterday, weren't we? We were saying like at the moment, kind of the pathway to play international rugby is like the education pathway. Like you have to be at the best colleges, like you have to be at the universities that have that kind of pathway into Premiership rugby, where actually like not everyone wants to go down that educational route, and that shouldn't be like a sticking point. So actually if your career aspirations are you want to join the military, the fact that our rugby so it's sort of like thought as a really good standard, and it's got the exposure now. So if this can be an alternative and another pathway into that international, not just England, like all nations, then like absolutely, like it should be used.
She's at lightning pace, and she's going to go through and score the try. And that is a fantastic try.
Back onto the pitch, the United Kingdom Armed Forces women's side. Zambia ready for them.
UKAF coming back out onto the pitch. The Zambians already there at the start of this second half. 17 points to 0, the lead for the home side. Some brilliant work from their forwards. Rolling moles quite early in the game when they got territory, and those penalties really taking their toll. The Zambians coming close to scoring at the end of that first half. Not quite managing to do it, but with Sarah Batley off in the sin bin for a further 7 or 8 minutes or so. They have an opportunity here with the player advantage. Let's see what the second 40 bring for them. It's a brilliant double-header day once again. Army Rugby Union Stadium in Aldershot, the venue. And we've got Ireland, Tonga to come later. It's brilliant having your company on the BFBS Forces News YouTube channel. And brilliant for me as well to have the company, of course, Erica Kiwi Mills and Charlotte Freddie Fredrickson. joining me for the second half. Zambia ball in hand. What will this one bring, Kiwi? It's an opportunity for the blue shirts here.
Yeah, I think we mentioned it going into the half. It's absolutely all to play for. 17-0 is no scoreline, really. I expect to see a few more points on this half, particularly from Zambia. I think if they continue with this attacking pressure, then it's inevitable that they're going to get some points on the board.
Well, the hat-trick scorer last week against the Tongans, Kasonko there with the ball in hand. Zambia tried to recycle this. Trying to go through phases as best they can. Trying to see if they can chip any holes in that UKAF defence, especially with just 14 players on the pitch, the UK Armed Forces at this stage. And trying to chip it through, and Luena, well, that's nice juggling work from the fly half as they march forward past the halfway line, Zambia. Through the hands of the forwards at this stage with Miriam ball in hand. And just feigning the pass, but taking it into contact. Out it comes again. Very, very nice work. Lucy Nye there in defence as well.
Yeah, we're seeing good defensive...
Oh, beautiful break. That's fantastic from the number 8, Chama. What can she do? Bouncing off the defence, running around the outside. Does she have the pace to get there? She cuts back. And not quite, but the ball does go out through the hands. There's space now for the Zambians on this right-hand side. And a try for Zambia as it comes through. Another one scored in this tournament for them, the first of today. Very nice rugby from them indeed.
It's great to see the Zambians start the second half the way they finished the first. You know, great ball in hand, like I said. We knew about their footwork, some beautiful footwork there. I actually think she could have just backed herself and actually she'd been over the line, but she wasn't greedy. She got rid of the ball, and that's great work from Zambia.
Yeah, she did really, really well in holding up the ball there and waiting for the cavalry to support her. But actually, it comes down to capitalising on the fact that UKAF are down to 14, identifying that space and attacking where that space is.
Now, hit back, they wanted to at the start of the second half, and hit back they have done. A lovely team effort from Zambia. And just a little question for UKAF to answer.
Also some defensive questions for UKAF to answer now. They finished the first half with a defensive set and a couple of line breaks from Zambia, and that motion's carried on into the second half. So it's now for them to soak up that pressure, have those micro chats, and have some confidence in their one-on-one tackling.
Yeah, and they're going to have to be more clinical like that in those one-on-ones, because Tonga and France will be just as unforgiving.
Absolutely. Like, there's no team in this tournament that isn't that is going to give any other team an easy ride. Like, everyone is here with heart, passion and purpose. So that is hard to defend.
You heard the popularity of the Zambians as well, the noise coming from the crowd in Aldershot with that try being scored. Just showing a little bit more confidence here in attack as well, finding a bit more space out wide. It's the number 3, William Asuzi, just being taken down. And the forwards move it through. UKAF trying to get them out of bounds. Can't quite do so. The ball moves back inside. The number 8 who started that move, Margaret Chama. There's the noise building a little bit in the crowd. And indeed through the back line it comes. Players screaming for that ball and moving now efficiently into the hands. Zambia looking to open up a bit of space on the right-hand side again.
And Jazz Abel's just done enough there to slow that down.
I think what we so often see is physicality match with physicality. So Zambia have, in my mind, increased the physicality in attack, and it's forcing UKAF to have to make a bit more of those dominant collisions. And also the work rate from the forward down this near side as we look at the pitch to stop that first break was great and commendable from them, especially in this heat.
Well, we enjoyed the first half. What a joy to have the intensity just picked up an extra notch in the second so far. Ball goes up aerially. An opportunity to counter again for Zambia, but the ref brings them back. That ball knocking forward, and just a little bit of a breather really for UKAF. Put into the scrum. Do let us know, of course, where you're watching from today. Carol Mpululuka says, let's go Zambia, let's go. Makosha Lillian heads up Zambia. Another Michael Musonda as well. Great to hear from you all. And on both sides of support as well. Anita Payne, good luck UKAF ladies, watching from Skegness. Kim Grundy, Nanny and Granda, that's lovely to hear from you. A family affair in the comments on our YouTube channel as well. Caroline Pursglove, come on UKAF. Courtney's mum, Pap and little sister Emmy watching from Yorkshire. UKAF ringing the changes. Elise Fletcher coming on. Becky Wilson as well.
I mean, one of those changes has to be because of Sarah Batley's sin binning, so they've had to bring someone on, and unfortunately in this context it's Rowan Sinclair who has to take the fall as well.
Rowan Sinclair and Holly Beacom. Well, it's great to hear from Stephen Beacom. Go Holly Beacom, enjoying the game in Omagh, Northern Ireland. Great to hear from you, Stephen. You'll have been enjoying, of course, what Holly has brought to this match so far. Fantastic work in the forward pack all afternoon from both those two, Beacom and Sinclair. Zambia looking to exert the pressure in defence here.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's a big ask of the two new props that have come on there in this area of the pitch for their first scrum in this attacking position with only 7 in the pack. It's a big ask. So hopefully they front up and can get the exit that I know they'll be after at this in this position on the pitch.
So you just need some technical skill in and out, which... Yeah.
A bit loose there, the ball, but
well
bringing it forward. Bethan Dainson cleaning up very, very nicely. Trying not to get isolated, but it has players in support, including Dixon. And Lucy Nye once more getting that pass out. A little bit behind Jazz Abel, but she takes it nonetheless. And Daisy Aspinall moving inside. Doesn't quite find as much space today so far as she would like. And Becky Wilson, early touch for the replacement. And Reynolds, Fletcher up in support. Nye again, Brightwell. And Aspinall still finding a lack of space. And looked a little high there, that challenge. The referee just hearing her claim.
I just want to go back to that scrum exit their side. That was a phenomenal effort from Beth Dayton at the base of that scrum, going backwards under immense pressure, and to make the ground that she did to then give UKAF the platform to get this far up the pitch. Again, a bit like the skill of controlling the ball at the back. It's absolutely integral to an eights game. So yeah, she's very dependable at the back of that scrum.
Players taking on some water. A fairly warm day down in Hampshire. And a chance also for UKAF just to slow down that Zambian attack at this stage. They've been coming hard and fast at the UKAF line.
It looks like just a warning at this stage.
Well, it did come fairly high, that challenge. Williams picking the ball up, undoubtedly eyeing as far a position down that touchline as she can.
Yeah, we want to see maximised territory in these penalties positions from Millie, and then we want to see the attacking driving line out, which has had success so far, and I don't imagine we'll see something different here. We can see already that Ellie Brightwell's in the channel, just as she says that. Okay, maybe we will see a bit more of an expansive attack here, which I know Freddie's dying to see out in those wider channels. But I must say that Zambia are matching and overmatching us in those outside channels, and certainly have in the first half.
De Filippo crashing through the middle of that Zambian line.
And that's another one there. Had Zambia gone up in that line out, it might well have been called not straight, but as a result, they haven't gone up, and here we are, we've got UKAF nicely on the front foot.
Nye shipping that ball out to Abel, putting a little grubber through. What space can they find here on that side? Huge amount of pressure on that Zambian defence. And number 14, Mbukwa.
That's really good skill there from Jazz Abel, not only in terms of the kick, but actually the follow-up, which has then ultimately led to the penalty.
Great position once again for UKAF. Sarah Mitchelson will be keen for them to respond right now to that try at the start of the second half from the Zambians. And Sarah Batley waits her turn to come back on the pitch from that sin binning.
Yeah, sometimes it takes individual effort and brilliance like that to ignite a team into their attacking shape again. Obviously, for the majority, you want the attacking shape to be cohesive and on the same page, but sometimes a little change in play can change the nature of the game.
King with the line out. Taken by Silcox. Turning around once again for an opportunity for that driving maul. How close can they get here, UKAF?
There's better defence there initially from Zambia as well. But actually, like, I think it's not going to take long to drag them in, and we've got nice space out wide here if we choose to use it.
Advantage being played, just committing so many players to that maul as the ball goes to ground for UKAF. And a penalty once more. The referee not having any of that. And a chance to go again for UKAF.
There's great patience from UKAF in that set piece. I think arguably maul defence and edge defence for me are the two hardest elements of defending in the game. So from Zambia, it's saturating. And from an attacking point of view, it's about maintaining that patience, because you're not always going to get momentum in the first few seconds of that drive. So both there, matching each other very well, but yeah, it does expect a lot or demand a lot from the defending side.
Taken by Beth Dainton this time. She and Silcox have been the preferred jumpers today. Oh, and moving blind is Lucy Nye, and that's lovely stuff. Kim Grundy, can she make it? She does indeed. Wonderful try from the RAF winger, and it is a response by UKAF to that score moments ago from Zambia.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think actually Zambia have done a lot better in the maul defence, but what UKAF did really nicely there was they exploited the short side, which I just don't think Zambia were expecting, so a little bit more space there. But initially, really good defence from Zambia, but nicely executed try for UKAF.
Sarah Batley coming back onto the field of play. And Rowan Sinclair with her, with those changes forced. Becky Wilson making her way off, having reinforced the front row.
What's important now, Si, is that UKAF keep painting those different pictures, and that's exactly what they did there. Instead of trying to insist on a driving maul that was being defended very well and then coming open side, which they so often did in the first half, we saw, as Freddie said there, good vision from Lucy attacking the blind side.
Fourth try, unsuccessful conversion, but the fourth try gaining the bonus point for UKAF. Bonus point fourth try for such a performance in this tournament. And it's been good from them today. They've managed to make real inroads with their forward pack. Have UKAF. Quite a few changes right across the board. Sarah Mitchelson will be pleased with the depth in the squad. And pleased as well, the Zambians have asked some different questions as well. It hasn't been simple or straightforward for this UKAF side. Dixon taking that ball, passing it to Williams, looking to get that ball away, just bouncing towards touch, kept inside, knocked back and then forward by Zambia, but coming back for the initial knock-on by UKAF.
In the previous games to this, and including this game, we haven't seen many of the same matchups, so it comes at a luxury of the coach's disposal, but equally you want to try and click and understand how your opposite number, your pairing, plays. So that can be the cost sometimes, is that continuity of play is lost. But yeah, coach-wise, she's in a very positive position for team selection for the coming fixtures.
UKAF know they'll come up against robust tests of their defence and attack as well. We've seen incredible quality across the board. North and South hemispheres alike. And the scrum just being set on the halfway line. 22-5 UKAF lead. Just under half an hour to play in Aldershot. The ball comes out once again, and Aspinall's quick up into the line there, which is forcing the Zambians to think again about that pass over the top. And now Jazz Abel She's had a wonderful tournament so far and just finds her way over the whitewash.
That is a great defensive decision from Daisy there. However, it is high risk, high reward. In that instance, flying up like that and creating a wedge when there's two on the edge can be very costly. But in that example, obviously, we saw the pressure pay off.
So Batley back on. India King at hooker and Elise Fletcher of the Royal Air Force at tight head. Try score against the Royal Navy at Northampton in the first of those inter-services matches in the spring. Lucy Nye with the put in. Comes out the back to her, and Williams gladly receives. And Aspinall in midfield.
Full credit to Zambia. They have figured out the scrum. Considering how much pressure it was under in the first half, and that's not easy sometimes in the middle of a game to figure out and adjust like that. So that's great from them.
Filippo often being used for that crash ball, but her high skill's been on show again today.
I think Zambia have also been very good at reading the attacking play. Even though UKAF are presenting some different pictures in that back line, they don't appear flustered in defence. They appear confident.
Well, a healthy sign. UKAF constantly looking for those offloads, and to keep ball in hand. Sarah Batley ever closer to the try line. A score by Sarah Batley, fresh back onto the pitch after her sin binning, gets over the line and contributes for her side.
Yes, Sarah's one of those players that will take that yellow card personally. The height of her tackle, as with so many players, it's never intentional, and I know that she will be absolutely delighted that she's come back on and almost redeemed herself for the 10 minutes that she had in the bin.
Yeah, absolutely. She's actually got really great footwork, and from that distance, she's almost unstoppable.
27-5 as it stands, just ahead of this conversion attempt by Williams.
Zambia want to get the ball back in their hands. I mean, as we've said, points difference in this group is actually, like in the other group, is actually going to be really important. So the fact that they've managed to put anything against UKAF really stands in their favour, but they won't want to let the scoreboard get away from them.
Well, conversion attempts is unsuccessful. But nevertheless, 27 points to 5. UKAF lead Zambia here in Aldershot, just under the hour mark in this game. Mike Houston, Huddy's partner Mikey, watching at home in Rutland with Hunter the dog. Let's go UKAF. Keep your comments coming in, folks. Great to have you with us. Chileshe Kamwembwa, let's go Zambia. Samantha Austin, come on UKAF, you have this. Kim Grundy's mum watching from Louth. And Neil Asarati watching from Aranda home. Come on, Millie Williams. Always a strong Welsh contingent watching on. Ball going towards Navy skipper Dixon. It's good work from Dixon, evading some of those tackling. And knocked forward by Fletcher this time.
That's actually nice work from Rose Dixon, like not only just the nice take, but she's worked herself back to the middle of the pitch, which has allowed UKAF to set up attacking options both sides, so that Zambia have to defend both sides as well, which is always exhausting. It's been quite a heavy day on the scrums for both sides, which I imagine both packs feeling pretty exhausted right now.
Yeah, I think the energy required can be underestimated sometimes to stay in that fight.
Up quickly Dixon, but sort of semi-gap opens up in her place. And that ball goes forward.
Freddie's right, we saw some great attacking options from Zambia in the first nearly 10 minutes of that second half, and they capitalised on it with points. Having looked back now, I think that's what UKAF needed to kind of kick their attacking prowess into gear, and sometimes that's all that it can take, but equally the momentum so easily shifts back, isn't it? So I think give Zambia the ball with a bit more attack, and we're going to see some more points and some more attacking rugby from them.
Zambians just being asked by the assistant referee to move themselves back in defence, their back line. That's a good shove from the UKAF forwards. Beth Dainton with the ball in the hand again, making so many yards as she has done all game, and jackling attempt comes through from Zambia. That's very good in defence from them.
Yeah, basically Bethan is just too good for her own good. She was so quick that it took too long for everyone to get to her.
Coming around the outside, this is fantastic stuff from the Zambian winger, Jess Juma.
Yeah, exactly that, Freddie. Sometimes, you know, Beth obviously made a lot of ground there, but everyone's got to be on the same page with that.
Now the ball being knocked forward. And a bit of harem-scarum rugby in the last few minutes. Still 20 minutes to go in this match. Players, some of them feeling the heat.
I don't think the defensive efforts from UKAF can be ignored. We've seen so many attacking scrums for UKAF now because of knock-ons from Zambia, and the defensive effort, both on the edge and when they're slightly more infield, has been really commendable. So I think Sarah Mitchison will be pleased with that pressure that they're still putting on at this stage in the game.
Yeah, and the benches looks like it's warming up to make an impact as well. Chantal Miller for the back row, and Becky for the front row.
Plenty of experience there. Chantal Miller has been around for a little over a season or two, I think it's fair to say. A brilliant flanker she is. Becky Wilson coming back on, of course, during that sin binning of Sarah Batley. And now coming on as a fully fledged replacement.
Hannah, come out, please. There's a lot going on there. Come out, please. Hannah, come sit.
Sarah Batley coming off the field this time. UKAF players in that huddle, some with towels over the heads. These conditions don't bother the Zambians. It's been a wonderful couple of weeks so far for the tournament. It's been great to see just how the other teams come out in support in the stands. And those who realise, of course, the quality of rugby on show, who come to watch from nearby and far afield. And those of you joining us, of course, on the YouTube channel, it's great to have you. We really appreciate your comments coming through too. The international feel on the field of play, echoed by the international feel of those of you watching.
I think I can't go without saying how credible Ellie Brightwell's defensive efforts have been today. Seeing her in the last few fixtures and also against England students, her physicality and confidence that she brings to any opposition is amazing, and is exactly what you want from your open side flanker.
That ball just slipping out of the hands of Rebecca De Filippo. Brightwell's made a real impact, as you say, Kiwi, since that debut, earning her cap against England students on this very ground a couple of weeks ago. And a good ball carrier as well, and to complement Bethan Dainton in the back row. Yeah, she's been a great find, of course, for the Royal Navy and for UKAF. Chantal Miller moving to number 8.
This is good attacking position here for Zambia, actually. Works their skill set, so they want no. Oh, that's it. Oh,
taken quickly.
Unnecessary from UKAF there.
A bit sloppy there. Zambia marching forward through the hands of Dorothy Kazonka. And the number 8, Chama, bouncing off some defenders.
To change the defensive positioning of that scrum there is obviously a premeditated decision by UKAF, having seen the 8 pick, I think, and just accept.
Well, they're going through the phases, Zambia, keeping ball in hand. Although UKAF have them being pushed back, and Heidi Silcox, fantastic defensive set. But just a little ill-disciplined, and that's fantastic from Zambia. They move forward, Luwena gets the try, their second today in Aldershot. Brilliant stuff from the fly half.
You can see the disappointment of the UKAF girls under the sticks, but full credit to Zambia there. She went lightning quick with that penalty, and sometimes that's all it takes.
Yeah, and it doesn't always have to be your scrum half that can think that quickly and catch a side off guard. We saw it a few times this weekend in some of the World Cup games, people taking quick taps and capitalising on that and coming away with points. So it will now keep UKAF lively to that as being a credible threat.
Well, she was instrumental in Zambia's victory over Tonga. Luwena, and just showing her class there, finding the space, scoring that try. 27 points to 10. Just over 15 minutes to go in Aldershot. The home side still have a 17-point lead. Hasn't been easy work for either side today at all in attack. Both those defences at times proving very difficult to break down. But great to see when players find those half breaks and spot the gaps in real time. It's been a delight to watch. A ball just bouncing awkwardly for Zambia.
Yeah, those breaks in open play are definitely the crowd-pleasing moments. They're the bits where you want to see how a team reacts both defensively and in attack, and that's where you can see some of the best tries come from. Yeah, and we had a clear example there of one of the decision makers making a quick decision, and yeah, it's paid off for Zambia. So hopefully UKAF will be a bit more alive to that.
A number of the UKAF players starting contingent recently. Daisy Fahe, Ray Metters, Annie Forbes coming back from injury, and Jess Bryan as well on the touchline, just watching on. That general squad feel, that cohesive nature of UKAF's been so important for them recently. And coming through, that's a resolute test. Luwena with ball in hand, the try scorer. What can she do this time? Using those feet, evading tackles. They get it on eventually, UKAF. Nye coming in to take that wonderful turnover. That's brilliant stuff from UKAF.
Yeah, UKAF could have come unstuck quite easily on this near side. Zambia had a clear overlap. So yeah, great defensive cover there.
So Williams puts the ball into touch. And another line out it'll be for India King. Kept busy today. Ball comes the way of Beth Dainton, urging the shove on with this rolling maul. And coming forward strongly are UKAF. And it'll be a card in defence for Zambia.
Yeah, sadly, right in front of the ref, a cynical act of play. Like I was saying, it's extremely frustrating when you're defending them all like that, and it is moving forward at tempo. I'd say that's probably one of the best mauls that UKAF have displayed this game so far. So yeah, now an opportunity for UKAF to capitalise on them being a player down.
Yeah, and they want to tick over that scoreboard this time, much more than they did with the last one, and anything other than points from this position is going to be a disappointment, I think.
It's the dynamic number 8, Margaret Chama, who'll spend 10 minutes in the naughty corner, and India King throws that ball into the line out. The rolling maul comes forth. We've seen that a few times today.
That was a lovely take from Heidi in the air there.
Daisy Aspinall looking to add another to her tally in this tournament. Ref comes back for the penalty though.
It's at this stage in the game as well, when you've got a lead like that, still 14 minutes to play, but are they looking to make slower decisions and trying to run that clock down a little bit to try and get nearer to the full time, or actually are they still trying to get on that front foot and play front football?
Courtney Pursglove Electric winger for the Army and UKAF warming up on the sidelines. Could be another try that comes UKAF's way before she comes on the pitch.
I think UKAF will just, the line-outs worked really well today, but it's been uncontested. So I think they might go away between now and the next game. Just have a little look at that, try and make it a little bit more clinical in the understanding that in the next couple of games it will be highly contested.
Pick and drive so far for UKAF, but De Filippo now in midfield. Agonisingly close to that line, but there's space out there. And the ball just behind, and that's, well, that could be costly, but the ref comes back. And just a little sloppy there from UKAF.
Yeah, that's a complete let-off there for UKAF, if I'm honest. I assume Jazz Abel knew that when she made the kick, so not lost there, but in a foot race, my money is on the Zambian player under that one.
Rather pantomime stuff from the crowd, booing the referee there, but UKAF with the ball.
I think UKAF have got to be a bit more savvy in the decisions they're making in this area of the park. They're using the pick and go and the slow ball quite a lot, but actually Zambia are defending that area extremely well. So thinking about that ball being released a phase or two earlier and utilising the space that is out on that width.
Ball held up there by the Zambians. Defending in earnest. And, Rebecca De Filippo just receiving some treatment.
Yeah, that was a big carry from Filippo there, and she, like I said, predicted to start with the 12-on-12 matchup was always going to be a physical one. I think she's done extremely well, but maybe just come off slightly worse in this instance, obviously hoping that she's okay to continue.
Hannah, I need you to let go.
Pursglove and Rebecca Addis also throwing off the bib. Jade Mullen, it seems, as well. Kim Grundy coming off for Courtney Pursglove. Been a good shift from her today. Try scorer as well. And comes off to warm applause. Rebecca Addis, the hooker. And Captain Fantastic, as many have come to know her, Jade Mullen, for the Army and UKAF, getting ready to don those UKAF colours once more. As India King comes off for Rebecca Addis. And Jade Mullen running onto the pitch as well.
Number 2, Rebecca Addis. Number 23, Courtney Pursglove. And number 16,
I think a 70-minute game for India there with all of those scrums is a big ask. I think she's done well at the lineouts, but like Freddie alluded to, they weren't overly contested. So in a different game, it'll be good to see where if she comes unstuck or if she can continue that run.
The threat of Pursglove evident immediately there. That's good work from the forwards as well. Rowan Sinclair on the blind side. But hard work from Zambia in defence. They've earned themselves a penalty. Holding on there, Sinclair.
And immediately you can see the speed of UKAF switching on to potentially a live tap and getting back 10.
Moving forward, Zambia held up by that UKAF wall. Trying to rip that ball. Oh, and a charge down. Can it come back into the way of UKAF hands? It's Pursglove who has the ball now. Moving out to Chantel Miller. Miller a danger in open play. Dainton, fellow back row as well. Mullen now. Silcox. Out to Sinclair. So closer, UKAF once more. It's Nye. Out the hands, Aspinall. And Jazz Abel on the left wing. A try scored. She continues her great tournament.
Yeah, that was great hands for me in the middle from Heidi linking up with Rowan, and a good straight in from her to then suck in that defence and create a bit more of a gap on that far side. Without that, I think Zambia would have drifted across as they so effectively have in this game.
Abel just feeling, I think, the effects of meeting that hard concrete-like ground, which seems okay. And Rose Dixon just making sure that
Try for UKAF by number 14.
she's getting that treatment as well. She's played so well, Jazz Abel, in the last few games for UKAF. Try score in the Army-Navy showdown at Twickenham 2024 as well for the Navy, as that conversion attempt is unsuccessful. But 32-10 UKAF lead into the final 10 minutes here in Aldershot.
That's my bad. It could have been Jazz, actually. Could have been Jazz. I might have lied to you then. Sorry.
Now Zambia taking their time to come up to halfway for this restart. They have a couple of tries on the board. Of course, a player in the sin bin, Margaret Chama.
I think this last 10 minutes of play is going to be tough for both teams. It's hugely testing conditions out there with the heat.
Mullen now putting a kick in, finding a bit of space as well. And Luena, the try scorer, a dummy put in.
That's great connection there. As Jade followed that kick, she was slowing up to make sure that she was taking people with her and they were a cohesive unit. And we're seeing the effects of that now.
Ball coming out for Aspinall and Nye up very quickly. Pursglove as well. The ball remains in Zambian hands. Bit of a juggling act from the left winger, Jess Juma.
We can see that Zambia have got width here. If they've got the confidence to move that ball.
I will do in a second.
Great
That's
work,
in the
great
hands.
from Heidi.
Yeah, the 15 there, Chilembo. As you say, Kiwi, UKAF doing a very good job just to slow that up and to turn things around. Becky Wilson with ball in hand.
That's good meters there from Becky. You know, just get in behind the defence, give UKAF a bit of time to refine their shape.
Box kick coming
Classic.
through from Lucy Nye.
Yeah, and defensively there, I can't go without commending Heidi's work rate. You could see Rose was screaming across because there was a mismatch in numbers, and Heidi continuously will get there and will work hard until that final whistle goes.
Well, we've seen nice rugby from the Zambians. We've seen some ferocious handoffs there as well from Marina Kasonka.
Great hustle, Beth.
And the ball knocked forward, but a penalty for Zambia. Taken quickly by the loose head. Bouncing Chantel Miller off her.
Yeah. They clearly back themselves in the tackle area, the Zambians, which is great to see.
Well, they're approaching that line with real intensity, Zambia.
Yeah, we saw some similar physicality from the South Africans yesterday. It's extremely hard to defend.
Pursglove, no option she feels really but to put the boot in.
That's actually a great kick there from Pursglove, especially with that angle. And she's followed it up as well.
Earning UKAF a bit more time there. Dixon and Sinclair. Navy pairing up quickly.
Yeah, that's a great link up with Rose and Rowan in that middle field, and that has shut off the far side options for Zambia to exploit.
Open side, Katambo, taken down by UKAF. And ball out, and an opportunity for UKAF to take this, which they do. Silcox to Wilson, out to Williams, putting that little chip in through Williams, and Jazz Abel is after it.
That's a good chase there from Jazz Abel.
Great stuff,
Right.
Putting pressure on Luena.
We've also seen it in a lot of the other games, is that there's no generic skill set now for forwards and backs. We've seen really good hands there from both Heidi linking up with Becky.
Well, that's beautiful from Zambia, and look at the space that's opening up here for them. Players in support as well. Can't quite get the offload away. Good work from Courtney Pursglove. Getting her arm in the way there as she made the tackle. And to wrap her arms around. Oh, and that's beautifully through as well. It's the tight head prop, William Susie.
Oh,
Look at that, Daisy Aspinall after her. What support does she have here for Zambia? There are other players up in support. UKAF defending with all their might here, trying to jackal that and get that possession back. I tell you what, scary times for those in purple.
I think that breakaway just shows how draining this game has been for both sides.
Space out wide. It's the fullback this time, Margaret Chilembo. Another try for Zambia. And boy, they've deserved it in these last few minutes.
Yeah, I think we saw some definite tired bodies coming up this near side there, but a great chase down from Daisy and support from Beth. Just goes down to the work rate of these players, and yeah, we're definitely seeing the effects of 76 minutes of full throttle rugby.
Yeah, in 30 degrees heat. But I call her out, fair play to the Zambian number 3. Yeah, talk about backing yourself, like not only in the contact, but just to put her foot down, didn't look back, you know, eyes only on the post. So in some ways, great play from both sides there.
Yeah, definitely. I think if Zambia's probably got a few examples of where they could have done that a bit more this game and probably capitalised on making a bit more ground. But yeah, a good attacking display from Zambia. We know they've got it, and we're seeing it still, which is great.
UKAF defence being made to work very hard, turned around rather quickly by the Zambians, and well, you'd be caught napping against this Zambian side. You can make an error and open up a bit of space. But 32-15, just a few minutes left in Aldershot. UKAF with the bonus point in terms of tries secured.
Yeah, I think this scoreline sends a message, Si, to the rest of the teams that UKAF are exceptional in a lot of respects, but you can score against them, which we haven't necessarily seen in this tournament so far. I think from a UKAF perspective, they will welcome the fact that they've been scored against, because it just gives you that mental sharpness that you take into the next set of training, and not becoming a bit complacent in the fact that nobody scored against you.
Now the French, Fijians, Australians, we've seen in Pool B the dangers that lie out there with their attacks as Tyler Lewis with her multicoloured scrum cap comes forward. Zambians take it as the ball goes loose.
Great reaction.
And shades of what we saw moments ago from Willem Asuzi.
They got, and the Zambians have got numbers out here on the left. Yeah.
Well, enterprising again from the Zambians. They're looking to shape up here and find some numbers. Look at the electric pace from the number 10, Lushomo Lowena. That's a beautiful try. It gets the crowd going wild, many of whom in support for the Zambians. That is sensational.
Well, it's not often you see that, poor old Courtney getting caught on the edge there. Like, that's just electric pace from the Zambians there.
Yeah, fantastic. And we think we can see the number 8 there making amends for her time in the bin. Such physicality, handing off Millie Williams in that initial break, and yeah, absolute speed on the edge, which is what we've been wanting to see all game.
Yeah, it's exactly where we knew Zambia would be dangerous, and actually in this second half they've really figured out how to get the ball there, and how to get the ball there in space, with some really beautiful carries by their forward pack, both on the edges and in the middle. This is great to see.
32-22 heading into the final minute of this match. And it's been a real spectacle. The tries scored in this match have been magnificent. Now the Zambians with 4 of their own. 10 points in it.
Yeah, if you're Zambia now, you're thinking clean take from the kickoff, find the edge, because that is at the minute where they're capitalising and scoring their tries.
The Zambians in possession once more.
Yeah, and another score will put them in range of a losing bonus point as well, which is obviously an important consideration.
Bonus points for both sides with 4+ tries, of course. Looking to ship this ball again. Know what they did a couple of minutes ago, and that's dangerous again from UKAF. Zambia just finding their mojo here. Penalty as well for Zambia. Well, this game gets ever more interesting in the final moments, taken quickly. And Susie with that massive presence in midfield.
And done well to collect that pass there and keep the ball in Zambian hands.
Lowena pivotal in
there's
attack.
the 7.
Getting the ball out as well. What
Great.
space have they got out wide? Looking for numbers. Luena again, slippery. UKAF just finding it very difficult to get her down. And they pile towards that line, Zambia. Well, this is turning into somewhat of an epic finish for Zambia if they can get over here.
And they've got numbers both sides, Zambia.
Looking to get that ball back. Have UKAF find it?
Just a little bit overexcited there, I think, from Zambia. They could have been a little bit more patient, make sure the ball doesn't go over the line, you know, and then they'd have retained possession.
5-meter scrum.
Yeah, I think also on that far side, credit to both Jade and Becky. Jade flying up in defence to try and cut off their options when they had numbers on, and also Becky to then join her and, yeah, cover that ground as best they could.
No, this will be in the dying minutes, you know, all 8 from the scrum here to disrupt this put-in. You know, the last thing they want is good, clean ball here for Zambia.
I think just a collapse on that far side there. Yeah, scrum reset.
Oh, with the mad pace of the last 10 minutes, the game just slows a little bit towards that final whistle. What can Zambia mount in their final opportunity in this match? Ball comes out the back of the scrum. UKAF doing well there in defence.
Yeah, it's good defence there from Lucy on the 8.
Very strong counter-ruck and earning themselves the penalty. Very good from UKAF.
Yeah, that attitude there, Si, in the dying minutes of the game for both that kind of pressure under a scrum and then the defensive efforts from Lucy and Beth. I think that shows what UKAF are about. Equally, we're seeing elements of where Zambia have come unstuck in this game, scrummage-wise, play out in the last few minutes as well.
Full time in this match. Thrilling stuff, especially in the second half. 32 points to 22, an impressive victory for UKAF, but equally impressive was the way that Zambia came back into this. Both sides earning bonus points for tries as all the players come back onto the pitch, shaking hands, played in such a good spirit as we've seen through this competition. And firstly, Freddie, my word, a chance to catch our breath, but yet again, this tournament certainly doesn't disappoint us.
I can think we can hear there the Australian squad supporting Zambia. I don't know if they would have been viewed as the underdogs in this game, but I know that UKAF definitely weren't viewing them as that. They've definitely come unstuck before where they've underestimated teams previously. So a great win for UKAF, but some fantastic attacking physical prowess from Zambia, which I hope they continue into their coming fixtures.
Yeah, absolutely. But job done for UKAF. They go through top of the group. That's what, this is competition rugby now. May not have, they'll take some stuff away from this, but effectively, job done, top of the group, exactly where they want to be. So they'll do their, they're a clever team, they'll do their analysis, but they'll do their analysis from a nice, safe place at top of the group. And important, of course, you'd imagine for that coaching staff of UKAF to have seen those tries going against them, having, of course, coming into this game with 170 points to 0, the aggregate in their first 2 matches. And an opportunity as they move forward in this competition with really tough tests to come, you'd imagine, for them just to see what they need to do, really.
Yeah, there are some really good positives to take away from that game. However, knowing Sarah Mitchison as I do, it will be where the tries came from that she will be reviewing in earnest this week. The beauty of them playing today is they've got an extra day's recovery before the next fixture, and I think recovery more than anything will be really important for both of these squads moving forward.
UKAF forming their huddle as well. The Zambians applauding the support they've had today in Aldershot. It's been vociferous, and it's been great to see the rugby they've brought to these shores so far. Wonderful from them. 112 points across 2 games that they've scored. And lovely moments that we're seeing here. And great, of course, with them arriving late to this tournament, that they've put on such a show in the 2 games they've been able to play, having to forfeit that first match to Ireland.
Yeah, I think Ireland, having watched that display, won't be too disappointed that they didn't have to play them in the end.
Ireland, of course, who take on Tonga later. That match follows this one. On the BFBS Forces News YouTube channel. Yet another fantastic day of double-header action. And UKAF in their huddle just summing up what they've done. They've played their part in a brilliant game. One of the best in the tournament, you'd have to say, so far. They've done the job, as you say, Freddie. They've come through it. Top of the pool. Onwards and upwards for them. Very special scenes, of course. The players have spoken in the lead up to the tournament and in the lead up to these matches over the last week as well about how special it is for many of them who don't get the opportunity to play in a World Cup for their nations, but playing at the IDRC Forces World Cup, so to speak, and lining out for the UK Armed Forces, for Ireland, Australia, France, Fiji, Tonga, Zambia. What a special honour it really is, and each and every one of them soaking in all these moments as best they can.
Yeah, it is hugely special, Si. I can absolutely relate to that feeling, having never been at the point of being able to represent my country, but this is 100% the next best thing. And yeah, it is extremely special every time you pull on that jersey. And I had the privilege of handing out the shirts for this game, and something that I touched on is that kind of personal relationship to comparing, I guess, this to being that equivalent. And regardless of the outcome of the entire tournament, nothing can beat it.
Just how moving is that when you see what it means to the players? And I'm sure plenty of emotion involved for them.
Yeah, I think it's really humbling to see players be emotional and be vulnerable in those special moments. They don't take it for granted, and neither should they. A lot has gone before this shirt and a lot of shirts, especially across the women's game.
Well, just going to head down now pitch side with Kath Brazier, who's got a very special guest.
Right, ladies, you are live, just in case. But Lucy Nye and Courtney Persglove, thank you so much for joining us. You knew this was going to be your toughest test, having seen Zambia only play once, but they've lit up this tournament. Lucy, you led the team today, but you know that was going to be tough, and as it turns out, it was.
Yeah, like I said, I think we're still probably recovering from it. But I think, like, coming up against a team like Zambia, they're not like teams that us Northern Hemisphere teams come across. So I think, like, we try to work really hard to stick to our game, but also, like, how do we combat players that are, like, really, really strong, really physical, but also have feet and have wheels. So I think for us, like, it was a really good challenge. And obviously now top of the pool going into the semis, like, that's the best game we could have asked for.
And Courtney, they are, you talked, mentioned the wheels, the speed that they have. That is something that normally you are to the best at on a side. But how is it when you come up a side like that are so unknown and obviously play the flair rugby that we expect from Southern Hemisphere sides?
Honestly, they were great, and they had some great wheels. And to be honest with you, that's what we wanted. We wanted to be tested, especially going into the games ahead, because we know it's not going to be an easy run. And having these hard games so we can actually look at what we need to improve on, what went well, is exactly what we need to go forward and hopefully get to the final.
You do top the group, which is great, and you'd already secured your semi-final spot. It was important for bonus points and all the rest of it. But it's interesting, all the teams are here watching. Do you feel, as the home team, there's a little bit of sort of that everyone's supporting the tourists and you guys are kind of on your own? There's support out there for you as well, but do you feel the pressure being the home team?
I wouldn't say so. I think in terms of the teams here, like, people love an underdog, don't they? So I think like we're probably good with that too. No, I wouldn't say so. I think it's just nice for us because we get those home crowds. So although the other teams might be obviously cheering and stuff for everyone else, it's nice for us, and it's special for us that we get family, friends, all here supporting us. So nah, I wouldn't say so.
Courtney, final question. Pool B is still to be decided, so you don't know who you're going to face in that semi-final spot, but let's take Vodafone Luceds out of, if I can be nice, but take them out of equation. France, Fiji, Australia, any of those that you'd prefer in the semi-final?
I think they're all great teams. I think we're happy to play at either of them. Like we said, we want to have a really good challenge, and we want to be tested in all the ways like we just have today. But whatever the draw is, we'll put those heads on and turn up. We just want to put on a show today and hopefully go forward into the next games strong.
Great, thank you girls, and see you soon.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Matter of pride, isn't it?
Courtney Persglove and Lucy Nye. Fantastic performance from UKAF, another win for them. And very quickly, Freddie, great to get those 4 tries in, top of the pool. Job done. Maybe a couple of questions though, and things that the coaches will be looking at ahead of their next encounter.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the set piece worked reasonably well today. I think they'll take a little look at the line out, just make sure it's as crisp as it can be, noting that Zambia didn't compete today. But towards the back end of that game, you saw Zambia with some almighty handoffs and some bounce on tackles. The girls will look at that specifically because, you know, that was a feature of the France-Tonga game, and whoever they meet, they know that that's the kind of powerful runner that they're gonna meet, and they're gonna have to be better in that area if they don't want to concede tries.
But this being Forces World Cup Kiwi, they couldn't have asked, surely, for too much more at this stage. 3 wins from 3 heading into those knockout stages.
No, I think they wanted and needed a more closer physical encounter. I think it's quite easy to become complacent, even though you wouldn't admit it out loud, like subconsciously complacent when you are on the attacking foot for what has been their previous 2 games. I think, as Freddie alluded to there, in the defensive space, we saw some of those similar errors in the England students game. So for Huddy, it will be going away and looking to see where they can work on that, which I know they have been in the lead up to this tournament, but seeing some similar defensive errors creep into the game, I know she'll be disappointed with that.
Well, the players arm in arm. Lovely to see both sides lining up for photographs and an opportunity to mingle as well after this hard-fought match. Next up, plenty more action today, which you'll be delighted to hear. Ireland playing Tonga. Next up for UKAF, we'll have to wait and see who they'll take on next, with France, Fiji, Australia and the Looseheads in action tomorrow. But 4 o'clock UK time, our next match today, the BFBS Forces News YouTube channel. It's been a delight to have you all with us, and to Kiwi and Freddie, a delight to have the 2 of you as well. We'll join you very shortly for that second match in today's doubleheader.
She's at the lightning pace, and she's going to go through and score the try. And that is a fantastic try.
Off go the Australians, and here it goes. Another try for Fiji. The tries keep raining down.
Play hard, play fast, show them what we've got.
And going through on that left-hand side, this is a fantastic one.
Wonderful stuff from UKAF.
The French are over.
What a game we're seeing.
We're hoping to bring the pigeon play on rugby.
She's going all the way. And the try goes over.
I thought if we could win it, that'd be unbelievable.
Well, it's relentless right now, and that's brilliant stuff from the home side.